Now let's get to a almost prohibitive favorite. Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga. Before this fight was made, I'd say a fight no one was looking for, but nevertheless, it's being made.
Look, Berlanga's young. He's undefeated. Hasn't learned how to lose yet, and he's got talent. I just don't know if he's ready. I'm going to say he's not yet ready.
The thing that makes me nervous about his mental game and the fact that he bit an opponent, and I'm not trying to pick on the kid, but let's just talk about the facts of the facts. Like the mental state you have to be in to bite someone and to that level of frustration is, I just question how in control of his emotions he is.
Yeah, like I was starting to say, mentally, I don't know if he's ready, not just physically, technically. I think, he's got talent. But I don't know if he's mentally, and I'm going to say he's not. But for the sake of handicapping, I have to make a choice one way or the other. I don't know that he's ready. I didn't think Munguia was ready, even though he had more fights. I didn't think Munguia had enough fights at that level or on that stage to be ready, even though he had a huge amount of fights, twice as many as Berlanga. But I also thought that Canelo picks these guys for a reason, where he sees something. Either they're not ready in certain ways in that way or their style. He thought Munguia, which he's right, was vulnerable defensively, which he is. He's getting better, but he is. He's vulnerable defensively, Munguia. And he thought, with the heart of the Mexican that he is, he thought he would engage him. He was right. He did engage him. And Canelo's a good counterpuncher, good power. And if you engage him, he's going to counter you. He's going to have a chance to hurt you. And that's exactly what he did with Munguia early on with the uppercut when Munguia engaged him, and that set the tone for the fight, where basically he was able to have his kind of fight, Canelo, where he could control it with a hard jab, counter punches, fight at his pace. He is getting older, Canelo, but he's adjusted. He's adjusted to where even as he's getting older and he's slowed down where he don't throw as many, but he's better in certain areas where he's not as busy. He shows you spots where maybe he could be outworked, but he still controls range where he makes you fight his fight for the most part. He tries to. He couldn't do that with Bivol, of course, but other than that, he's been able to do that. Again, get a chance to counterpunch, get a chance to go to the body, get a chance to control you with his jab. He's got a good, strong, accurate jab. Unless I think Berlanga's best shot is not to engage Canelo. I don't know if he can win that way, but he can survive that way. That's not what we want. I get it, people. But if he could mix it up, we're picking spots to engage and picking spots to do it smart, and not engage where he gives up too much and he stays in front of Canelo too long, where he can use his young legs, box on the outside, use his jab, pick spots. If he can do that and maintain that mentally, emotionally, in a consistent manner, yeah, you could take the plus 800 if you want for $100. If you can afford to lose 100, take it for $100 if you want to do that. At the end of the day, I don't know that he's going to be able to do that to the point where he can actually win the fight that way. Again, I think Canelo picked him for a reason, thinking he's not ready, thinking that he will be able to engage Berlanga at some point or force his way to Berlanga at some point to fight the kind of fight that favors Canelo with his power, with his accuracy, his well-placed punches. I'm taking Canelo.
You can take Canelo by knockout for minus 340. As opposed to taking him to win for minus 2,300. I think if it goes the way you'd like, I
would never lay that kind of wood. Never. Yeah. But I would take Canelo by knockout. I would take a bet on that. I would also take Canelo. I would take a shot on the over because I think the younger Berlanga has enough ability, as I described, to survive or potentially survive into the 8th, into the later rounds. Would I be shocked if Canelo got him out of there at 4, 5, or 6? No. But if I have to make a bet or I want to make a bet and I got to go within the confines of what is laid out there by obviously the bookmakers, I would take a shot at going over 8.5 rounds and also put a little bet on a knockout. Because this way I protect myself a little bit if he knocks him out earlier. If Canelo gets to him earlier, I got the win there. If he winds up getting to him after 8.5, I win on both ends, which would be a nice bonus.